Bitcoin, the tech whose invention is arguably as important as computers. Today, we'll dive into its history. We'll try to find out answers to questions like from where its inspiration came from, who invented it, how it works, and what it might be in the future. Hey crypto lovers, this is Crypto Billionaire, your friendly neighborhood crypto and financial education channel. No author at Crypto Billionaire YouTube channel takes guarantee of losses incurred while investing, as we do not provide financial advice and crypto markets are high-risk markets. The sole purpose of the information posted on the YouTube channel is for education only. With that being said, let's begin. Bitcoin is the first blockchain and cryptocurrency in the world. Bitcoin, capital B, is a Bitcoin Penner-Copper network, which maintains a dispersed, released book called blockchain, which registered all Bitcoin that is a native digital asset token of the Bitcoin network. In addition to creating unreliable digital money, Bitcoin has protected the movement to distribute existing centralized financial services. But Bitcoin was not the first attempt to create digital money. It was built on top of all those ideas. Digital money insufficiency concepts were first given by Nick Szabo while proposing BitGold in 1998. Szabo is a cyberpunk computer scientist and an early member of a group of engineers who focused on promoting privacy with encryption and electronic money. It was formed in the 1980s and for encryption, economy, and cyberpunks mail lists related to censorship. One of the founders of the cypherpunk motion, mathematician Eric Hughes, with Timothy C. May and John Gilmore, published the Cypherpunk Manifesto in 1993. Szabo at the end of 1990s noticed that precious metals and gems have an unforgettable scarcity due to the costliness of their creation. So he set out to create a protocol where he can create costly bits, spending time online, while minimizing the reliable dependencies of third parties. In this tech, if Alice's POW chain was verified and accepted by the majority of the computers on the network, her non-fungible chain would be added to the distributed public registry, and she would be given BitGold in exchange for it. The registry solved the double spending problem. That is the risk that a user could spend the same BitGold twice, since any node could easily confirm cryptographically what BitGold Alice owned on the registry. But the BitGold consensus mechanism fell short because it would be inexpensive for a bad actor to create a large number of nodes, known as Sibyls, and tamper with the property registry. If BitGold were to protect against this by limiting the number of nodes that were able to participate in managing the property registry, the network would become more centralized and the permitted nodes would have an inordinate amount of power. B-money was another precursor of Bitcoin, which occurred at the same time as gold. It was proposed by Wei Dai, computer engineer, cypherpunk, and cryptographer, and is referred in Bitcoin white paper. B-money conceptualized anonymous distributed electronic cash system, and although they did not develop beyond the white paper stage, the distributed major ledger, the digital signature of the transaction, and the way Bitcoin finally included the concept of the oath. The idea of building costs, or digital scarcity, using the proof of work was first conceptualized by Cynthia Dwork and Moni Naur as a way to protect the internet services of abuse such as spam in 1993. In 1997, the English cypherpunk called Dr. Adam Back has implemented this concept on it Hashcash project, a service for spam limitations. Sending mass emails to unsuspecting users was and still is inexpensive. So Dr. Back set out to increase the cost of sending an email, whereby the cost would be minimum for honest users, yet prohibitive for abusive users. Hashcash required a sender to generate a token of Hashcash when solving a POW puzzle. This token, which is similar to seals, will be sent by email to the desired recipient. If a token is enabled, the email will be delivered. If it is not valid, the email will rebound. For normal users, the cost of generating a token of Hashcash is just a few, but for spammers, it is expensive to generate a token of Hashcash. Hashcash demonstrated that digital scarcity could be created in the face of abundance, and in doing so, opened the eyes of at least two cypherpunks, and soon thereafter, Szabo via BitGold and Dai via B-money would apply the concept of digital scarcity towards the creation of money. A POW puzzle represents energy, which, if directed towards minting coins, would confer the energy value of such efforts onto the very coins being minted. In 2004, Hal Finney, a cypherpunk, also tried to create a cryptographic system and improve the version of BitGold, and it was called Reusable Work of Proof, or RPOW. It used Hashcash's POW to mint new tokens. However, the system traded decentralization for simplicity by relying on the centralized server to protect against the double spending problem. It took 5 years before Bitcoin would weave all of the various developments of Sabo, DAI, BAC, and Finay together into viable, trustless, and fully decentralized digital money. The Bitcoin white paper was published in 2008, and the network launched in January 2009 after mining the Genesis block. Bitcoin has successfully created a digital currency that operates in a completely decentralized and trustless manner, allowing users to send monetary value to each other over the internet without the need for a trusted financial intermediary. This is due to a breakthrough in the consensus mechanism. The solution uses Hashcash POW to solve problems that Bitgold could not completely prevent. More specifically, the Bitcoin mining mechanism does not require the number of nodes to be arranged in advance and encourages miners to follow the rules. It works like this. Bitcoin does not depend on the majority of nodes, called miners, to reach consensus, but rather depends on the majority of computing power, the processing power of the network, to reach the consensus. Getting most of the computing power from the network is expensive, making it costly for miners to manipulate the ledger. Furthermore, by doing so, rogue miners forfeit generous rewards of freshly minted bitcoins and the reward of winning miners who correctly solve the POW problem approximately every 10 minutes. So, a rational and economically motivated miner uses his processing power to ensure the integrity of the blockchain rather than trying to manipulate it and deceive the system. Therefore, the Hashcash POW concept plays a vital role in both the minting of new bitcoins, digital scarcity, and the security of the Bitcoin network. High attack costs, block reward opportunity costs. This simple and elegant incentive structure has turned digital currency, a movement that was once comprised primarily of computer scientists and cryptographers, into an increasingly persuasive phenomenon. The identity of the founder of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, is perhaps the most fascinating mystery of the last decade. Since the launch of Bitcoin white paper, speculation and research on Satoshi Nakamoto's real name has been extensive. Some people even speculate that Satoshi Nakamoto may not be a real person, but a group of people as a collective. At different times, each of the digital currency pioneers mentioned above was accused of being Satoshi Nakamoto, but they all strongly denied it. Satoshi did his best to remain anonymous, probably because he was concerned about hostile actions the government might take, at least in the early days. Satoshi Nakamoto's information on crypto forums, websites, and development platforms left no clues as to who he, she, or who they are. In mid-2010, Satoshi Nakamoto's contribution to the development of the Bitcoin network ceased. In 2011, Satoshi sent a mysterious message saying, "I have started doing other things." Then he disappeared from the internet, and no one heard from him again. So far, no conclusive evidence has emerged to correctly identify the person or persons behind the pseudonym or the NIM in cypherpunk. Satoshi Nakamoto's statement. At the time of publication, Satoshi Nakamoto is still at large. The Bitcoin community believes that not knowing Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity is one of the biggest advantages of Bitcoin. There is no founder or leader, no single point of failure, only self-explanatory math and lines of code. This is fully in line with the spirit of decentralization and trustless currency. Bitcoin was developed in the context of the 2007-2008 financial crisis. It was triggered by irresponsible risk-taking and lending by banks around the world. Despite their reckless behavior, many banks received government bailouts, which triggered widespread protests, and people generally lacked confidence in the global financial system. Bitcoin emerged as a substitute for the inherent weakness of the trust-based model. Bitcoin makes decentralization possible. That is, it focuses on the personal empowerment. His nature regained control from the minority and returned it to the majority. In this decade, the Bitcoin model and ethics will redesign the internet, financial system, and currency in a way that promotes greater independence, choice, and opportunity for all, just like the invention of the printing press, the personal computer, and the early internet before that. No doubt blockchain is the future. Bitcoin might not be fully future-proof, but it laid the path, and nothing can stop that. That's enough for the day, I guess. Do like and share if you want to help us make more videos curated with this information for you. In the next video on Bitcoin, we will discuss its tech and future. So what are your thoughts on Bitcoin? And let us know in the comments below. Do like if you liked our content. And I don't know what you're gonna do with that red color button below. Squeeze it or, mine the red color out of it. I don't care, but it's gotta be changed from red to gray. I don't like that red color. Peace out.